Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss average series. In the previous few videos, we discussed odd and even functions, and we are going to realize average series is just an extension of odd and even functions. And we are also going to use the same Fourier coefficients as we used in odd and even functions. If you have not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button down below and let us start the lesson. If you are given a function such as you are told function of x, you are given an analytical description of this function and you are told the function of x, or say let us see this function of t. I'm seeing a lot of examples, a lot of questions in the next exams, they are using function t. So let us just use function t. You are told function t is equal to t for t lies between 0 and pi, and they also told function of t is periodic with 2 pi. You are only given half of the range, that is from 0 to pi, but you are told the function is periodic with 2 pi. It means half of the range is missing. You are given half of the range, but the other half of the range is missing. And that's why such kind of a function is called a half range series, because you are only given half of the range. If you are given half of the range, you have to be told how to treat the series in the next exam. There are three ways in which you can treat the series. You can treat the series to be neither, that is, it's neither odd or even. You can be told to treat it as an even function, meaning it will contain constant terms only, or you can be told to treat it as an odd function, meaning that it's going to contain sign terms only. Let us treat this function in the three scenarios as even, odd, or neither. If you have to treat this function as even, now first of all plot it. We have plot it here. We have treated it as even. We plot the range that we already know. We know between 0 and pi. Here the axis is a function of t. Here the axis is t. We know between 0 and pi, the function is defined by f of t is t. That is, here this line is function of t is equal to t. A lot of time we like saying y is a function of t. So that here you can simply say y is equal to t. Just a way of simplifying. So that we can call this the y-axis, and this y is a function of t. I mean y is equal to t, because y is a function of t. It's just a way of simplifying. So we know this portion, it is y is equal to t, and you can plot it like that. The other portion we don't have an idea how it is like, because you only given half of the range, but you can make it even. To make it even, you have to make this one its image on the. You have to make it symmetrical about the y-axis. Make it symmetrical about the y-axis. And the image of this on a plane mirror, as we said earlier, will be like this. Now this one, we have treated it like an even function. And in this case, this one now is even. It is even. It is an even function. And it will contains cosine terms. It will contain cosine terms and constant have a not only. Contain the constant. It will contain cosine terms and the constant have a not only. Suppose we want to treat the same function as an odd function. We have to make the curve or the graph to be symmetric about the origin. You know the same graph we have over there. My green pen is not clear. So we drew the graph of the same function. This is y, but we know y is a function of t, and this is t. We know the value of the function between 0 and pi. We know it is defined by function of t is equal to t, or simply y is equal to t. Y is equal to t. To make it odd, you have to make the graph to be symmetric about the origin. Put a mirror here. The image will be here. So this one now is odd. It's an odd function. Odd function. Why? Because it's symmetric about the origin. This one contains sine terms only. It contains the sine term only because a naught is 0, an is 0, we only have bn. We can also make the same function to be even, not be even, to be neither. But in next exams, we only be told find the cosine term series, meaning you treat it as an even function, or find the sine term series, treat it like an odd function. You rarely be told to treat it as neither odd nor even. I've never seen such a question, but let us see how we would treat it if you are required to. So we have the same curve of, here you have y-axis, here you have the t-axis. We have is y is equal to t, is pi, we want to make it neither, so we have so many options. We want it neither to be symmetric about the origin nor symmetric about the y-axis. We can make it look like that. It's neither. We can make it pass through 0. It's neither. We can make it like this is pi, negative pi. You can make it like that. It's neither. I mean, we have so many options that we never exhaust them if we wanted to make that curve neither. And that's why a lot of time the questions you are never required to treat that function as neither. You'll always be told, find the cosine term series or find the sine term series. So let us try one example from a past paper. This is June, July 2017. Example 1. Example. June, July 2017. Electrical engineering. Electrical engineering is telecommunication, instrumentation and control, power electronics. We are told, question 3, given f of t, given function of t is equal to t between t rise 0 and pi over 2 and t minus pi between pi over 2 pi over 2 and pi. Determine the average Fourier sine series of f of t. Determine the average Fourier sine series of Fourier sine series of function of t. Question is 6 marks. Not much. 6 marks. So, the question, you have not been told to sketch, and I don't think you should sketch in an exam. These 6 marks to be a lot of mark if you start sketching. But for the purpose of you learning, let us try to sketch. We have function of t, we tabulate t we have function of t. Function of t when it is equal to t, and function of t when it is equal to t minus pi. T minus pi. Because the function, we have two scenarios. When the function is equal to t and when the function is equal to t minus pi. Between 0 to pi over 2, function is defined by t. So let us fill our table. At t is equal to 0, substitute 0 here, it will be 0. Let us take an intermediate point, say pi over 4. At t is equal to pi over 4, here put pi over 4. The function t will be pi over 4. At t is equal to pi over 2, again substitute here, t is pi over 2, it will be pi over 2. Between pi over 2 to pi, function f of t is defined by t minus pi. So we take an intermediate point here, 3 pi over 4, and finally pi. So from pi over 2 to pi, function will be defined by t minus pi. At pi over 2, If you substitute here, where you have t, you put pi over 2. Pi over 2 minus pi, it is negative pi over 2. Negative pi over 2. At 3 over 4 pi, substitute here, t is 3 over 4 pi. 3 over 4 pi minus pi, it is a quarter pi. And at pi, substitute here where you have t, put pi. Pi minus pi, it will be 0. Let us sketch. Okay? Sketching, we are just doing it just for the purpose of learning. You have not been told to sketch. And I don't think it's a good idea to sketch in an exam for 6 marks. But there are some questions that it is told to sketch. So it is worth learning how to sketch. This question is a bit lengthy, so sketching will take a lot of your time. We have pi. We go up maybe here pi over 4. Pi over 2. And finally pi. Here it is negative pi over 4. Negative pi over 2. And negative pi. This is y or function of t. This is t. At between 0 and pi over 4, we are going to use the upper low of the table. Between 0 and pi over 2, we are going to use the upper low. So at 0, the function is 0. At pi over 4, function is pi over 4. We need to fit to, let us say this is pi over 4. Pi over 4 on the vertical axis, and this is pi over 2. Pi over 2. At 0, it is 0. At pi over 4, it is pi over 4. Here. At pi over 2, it is pi over 2. Here. So these are the straight triangle. At pi over 2, it is, we proceed now with the row function. This one, the row part of the table. Function of t minus pi. So it will be, where you have pi, the value of function is negative pi over 2. So again here I do not indicate on the row axis. I do not indicate here is the curve. Is negative pi over 4. This is negative pi over 2. Meaning, at pi over 2, our function is here. At, not put 3 pi over 4. Negative 3, positive 3 pi over 4 and pi. So here it is at 3 pi over 4, it is negative pi. 3 pi over 4, it is negative pi. Let me just use one color. At pi is 0. Again, it's not drawing to scale, so I can change. The curve is not to scale, so if there isn't a problem if I miss a little bit. I wanted to use one color. So it is like that. we want to get half range sine series. To get the half range sine series, we have to treat it as an odd function. We have to make it symmetric about the origin. Make it symmetric about the origin. Let me use a different color, because here it's not actually it is like that, but we're only trying to make it be like that. That's why I'm using a broken line in a different color. It's not, we are not certain it is like that. We're only trying to make it to be like that so that it can give us a half range sine series. This, we said, when the image produced in a plane mirror has lateral inversion. So what is going up on its image on the mirror will be going on the opposite direction. Just like when you put yourself in the mirror facing this direction, your image will be facing the other direction. This one, because it's facing this direction, its image on the plane mirror, if you put the mirror on the origin, it will be facing this direction. It will be facing that direction. Now it will be going to go up to pi over 2. Up to pi over 2. So it will, yeah, missed one point. Negative 3 pi over 4 is pi. So it will go up to, is up to, this one, pi over 2. So mine 2 will be here, pi over 2. Up to pi over 2. Something of the sort. So that's how you would have sketched if you are required to sketch. But fortunately you are not required to sketch. So this is just for purpose of our own practice. Because we are not trying to do a question because that's what we expected to be right, but we are trying to practice in many ways as we can. We now find the Fourier series. You know that Bn, or the Fourier series itself, function of t now will be equal to sum from n is equal to 1 to infinity Bn sine nt. We need to get Bn. Bn is equal to, we say, half range is just an extension of even and odd. So with this one we are treating it like odd. Coefficients are the same. Fourier constant or the Fourier coefficients, they are just the same. The 2 over pi integrate from 0 to pi function of t sine nt with respect to t. This is 2 over pi. We have two portions, so we have to split from 0 to pi over 2 and pi over 2 to pi. The first portion is integral 0 to pi over 2. What is the value of f of t? F of t is equal to t between 0 and pi over 2. So we are going to say t sine nt dt plus between, the other portion is integral from pi over 2 to pi, between pi over 2 to pi, function f of t is equal to t minus pi. T minus pi multiplied with sine nt and integrate with respect to t, and then it goes the bracket. You can remove the equation, or maybe here, how do we integrate? The reason why I did a few videos on how to integrate by parts is because I knew there is no way you could survive Fourier series if you have not refreshed your memory on integration. I've always had that problem whenever I'm teaching the ideas. we have to have a problem with each other, because I know they did calculus in first year and they're insisting, no, we didn't do calculus. But how could you have skipped it? It's not possible. By the time you are doing through your series, you should have done calculus. So you have to make sure you watch the videos on how to integrate by parts before you start the actual topic on Fourier series. So here you have to integrate by part. We say integrating by part. Integrating by parts. You have to integrate by parts. Even here, you have to integrate by part. Integrating by parts. Let us use the actual method of integrating by part instead of using the shortcut method. We see how much time it will take for 6 marks. How much time will it take, or how work is there for 6 marks if you are to use the actual method of integrating by part. Let's make this one to be our u. This one t. Let us make it to be our u, or this one to be our u. This one to be our u, this one to be our dv. Here, this one to be our u, this one to be our dv. So, we take the first one. You know that formula for integrating by part is integral of u dv is equal to uv minus integral of v du. Of course, we need u. We have chosen our u's there. We need v's. We only have dv's, so we need to get the v's. We have du. We need du. We only have u's over there, so we need to get our du's. Let me use this side for this one, this side for this one, this side for this one. I also change my colors. This one, let me use red. You know u is t, du, dt. Differentiate both sides with respect to u, with respect to t. To give you du dt, differentiate with respect to t to give you one. Therefore, du is equal to dt. Here, we know dv is sin nt dt. Sin nt dt. You need to integrate both sides. Integral of dv is equal to integral of sin nt dt. If you integrate dv, you get v. If you integrate sin nt, you get 1 negative. You get negative. The sign, this constant n will produce 1 over n, and then the sine function will change into a cosine function, cos nt. On this side, we have u is equal to t minus pi. Differentiate both sides with respect to t. Derivative of u with respect to t is equal to differentiate t 1. Differentiate negative pi 0 because it's a constant. So du is equal to dt. You don't have to get v from dv because both of them they are just signs. Just the same function will be integrating. So now we apply the formula. Over there we have, try to get Bn. We have Bn is equal to 2 over pi, open bracket, integrate t sin n t with respect to t, or integrate u dv. When you integrate u dv, you get uv, integral of u du. Because we anticipate two portions, this one and this one, I open a bracket. The result of integrating u dv is u, which is t, v, which is negative 1 over n cosine t, negative cosine t, I divide with n, because of this 1 over n. Limit is from 0 to pi over 2. Whenever you are done with the integration, apply limit. 0 to pi over 2 minus here. Integral of v du. Integral of v, what is v? Negative 1 over n cosine t. That is n, that is v. V, and then we add, we include du. Du which is dt. But I would rather factor this 1 over n outside the integral sign. This negative 1 over n. So when we do that, it will be positive 1 over n, integral from 0 to pi over 2 cosine t with respect to t. We are done with this. Then we start that one. Open a new bracket. The same formula. We are integrating u dv. Integral of u dv is equal to uv. What is u in this case? T minus pi. T minus pi, that is u alone. V is the same, negative 1 over n cosine t. Let me create space here. Negative t minus pi, that is u, cosine t. But our cosine has 1 over n. 1 over n. We apply it from pi over 2 to pi. Pi over 2 to pi. Minus. The other part is u dv. Not u dv. V du. V du. V is negative 1 over n cosine t. This negative, let us take it outside the bracket. It is negative 1 over n. So negative, we find another negative here to make this one positive, and then there is 1 over n. Then cosine t. The du, for in this case, du is dt. This du here is dt. And we are integrating, you can call this bracket, and we are integrating from 0, not 0, pi over 2 to pi. Pi over pi. Pi over 2 to pi. The next step, let us integrate this. You also have a choice at this step. You can start applying the limits. For example, you can apply this limit, and you can also apply this limit. As you master the topic, I suggest you start applying the limit as you continue with your integration. Because when you apply the limit, here you are reducing how much you'll be writing. But for purpose of this lesson, let me finish integrating, and then we apply the limit in a single step so that it can be clear to you. So here I have Bn is equal to 2 over pi, bracket, negative t cos n t over n, limit from 0 to pi over 2 plus 1 over n. I'll be integrating this. Integrating cosine nt with respect to t produces a 1 over n, which I'll multiply with the initial 1 over n, give me 1 over n squared, and then the cosine will change to sine function, which is positive. Sine nt, limit from 0 to pi over 2, close that bracket, this one, plus, here you have negative t, negative is inside the bracket, t is inside the bracket, minus pi, close that, cos nt over n, we apply limit from pi over 2 to pi, plus, on integration cosine produces a positive sign, add, it will be 1 over n sine nt. So this 1 over n times the other 1 over n here will give us 1 over n squared. 1 over n squared sine nt, limit from pi over 2 to pi. And then we close that. Close the other bracket. This is. Let us start applying the limits. Bn now will be equal to 2 over pi. We apply the big bracket here. Here pi, whatever you have t, put pi over t. The first one, negative pi over 2 cos n pi over 2. When you are applying the upper limit, you put 0 here to make everything 0. So the lower limit is 0. You don't have to worry about that. But remember, you have this 1 over n. So you are supposed to divide with 1 or to multiply with 1 over n. Multiply with 1 over n to give you that. Plus, here, if you apply the upper limit, it will be 1 over n squared sine n pi over 2. If you apply the lower limit, it will be sine 0. So sine 0 is 0. So you only have to worry about the upper limit. 1 over n squared sine n pi over 2 plus, if you open this bracket, it's a positive here, you have a positive. But you open the bracket, this positive times a negative will give you a negative. A negative. And now see, apply the upper limit. Wherever you have t, you put pi. Here you have t, you should put pi. Here you have t, you should put pi. It is pi minus pi, 0. To make the upper limit, everything to be 0. So it is, I should say, is this negative 0, because upper limit is 0. So you always subtract the lower limit. So what is the lower limit? It is, wherever you have t here and here, you put pi over 2. Pi over 2 minus pi, it is negative pi over 2. So there is another negative. This one is for lower limit. And this one is because you have pi over 2 minus pi, which is negative pi over 2. What? Cos n pi over 2. And you have this one over n. So how many negatives? Negative, negative, negative. Negative times negative times negative is a negative. So you have negative pi over 2. There is also an n. Cos n pi over 2. Plus this plus here. Apply the upper limit. It is sine n pi, which is 0. Yes, so you say 0 because upper limit, when you apply sine pi here, sine n pi is 0, minus the lower limit. The lower limit is Sine is pi over 2, so it is sine n pi over 2. And remember this is 1 over n squared. So there is 1 over n squared here. So the upper limit is 0. The lower limit is sine n pi over 2. So you can see the positive will multiply with the negative to give you a negative. So it will be negative 1 over n squared sine n pi 1 over 2. So you can close that bracket. Let us see what will happen. This is positive and this is negative. That one is 0. They combine to give you 0. Here we have two which are similar. Negative 2n, negative pi over 2n cos n pi over 2. Negative pi over 2n cos n pi over 2. That one will give you have that 2 which is outside the bracket, 2 over pi which is outside the bracket. You have this negative 2n cos n pi over 2 minus negative pi over 2n cos n pi over 2. It will be negative 2 pi over 2 over 2n cos n pi all over 2. These 2 and 2 will cancel. Maybe I should use green pen is better. Red pen is better. dn is equal to 2 over pi. 2 and 2 will cancel. So we have negative pi over n cos n pi over 2. You can even open this bracket. dn is equal to, and then this pi and this pi will cancel out. Pi and pi will cancel. Let me remove that pi, those pi's. This pi will disappear and this one will disappear. So that in this step I have 2. Here I have 1 over. And this negative 2 finally over n cos n pi over 2. Be very careful when you have fractions. Either pi over 2, pi over 3, something like that. It will rarely be 0. I mean, it will not always be 0 or positive 1 or negative 1 like we are used to. We are used to when you have sin n pi is always 0, cos n pi is always either negative 1 or positive 1. But whenever you have fractions, take your time. Here, then n cos n pi over 2. Substitute for n is 1, it is cos pi over 2, which is 0. For n is 2, it is cos 2 pi over 2. 2 pi over 2 is pi. So cos n pi is negative 1. I mean, not cos n pi. Cos pi is negative 1. Substitute 3 here. Cosine of 3 pi over 2. 3 pi is the same as 270 degrees. And cosine of 270 degrees is 0. Substitute n is 4. This is cos 4 pi over 2. 4 pi over 2 is 2 pi. So cosine of 2 pi is positive 1. 5. Cosine of 5 pi over 2. I always forget to bring my calculator. I usually remember the middle of filming and I cannot stop the video. So you are going to do a bit of manual work. But in an exam you should have a calculator. You should start doing this. You should have a calculator to punch. Or student take coffee. Sine, cosine, tangent are positive in the first quadrant. Only sine is positive on the second quadrant. Only tangent is positive on that quadrant, and only cosine is positive on the fourth quadrant. We have 5 pi. Here it will be 5 pi over 2. This is 5 times 180 degrees all over 2. This is 450 degrees. 450 degrees. Let me make it minus 360. You always subtract 360 when it's above 360 because that is one cycle. So you see, you want to see how much it is going for the second cycle. This is 90 degrees. I think I didn't need this because cosine of 90 degrees 0. I didn't need this one. I thought it would be beyond 90. I'll need it. Let us try another one. 6 pi. N is 6. Cos 6 pi. What is 6 divided by 2? 6 pi divided by 2, 3 pi. Cosine of 3 pi, negative 1. So it's negative 1. Let us see. 0, negative 1. 0, positive 1. 0, negative 1. So, in between negative 1 and positive 1 is a 0. And it is alternating 0 negative, positive, 0 negative, 0 positive. So, for 7, we are sure it's a 0. For 8, we are sure we will alternate from negative to positive. 8, 1. For 9, we are sure 0, and so on. For n is 9, and so on. So we can now say Bn, see forward values always 0. Forward values is 0. So if cos n by 0 forward values, it is 0 times negative 2 over n, 0. Bn is 0 for n is odd. Now see, Bn is equal to, take the negative ones. For 2, 6, skip 8, 10 here we are showing it is negative 1. 10, Bn, not Bn, cos n pi over 2 is negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 2 over n, positive 2 over n, for n is 2, skip 4, 6, skip 8, 10. 2, 6, 10, and so on. Bn is equal to 4, whatever you skip, 8, because you're going to skip 10 and then 12. It is positive 1. Positive 1. So it's positive 1 times negative 2 over n. It is negative 2 over n. For n is 4, skip 6, 8, skip 10, 12, and so on. Now let us write the actual Fourier series representation. It is now, we know the actual Fourier series representation. Function of t is equal to sum from n is equal to 1 to infinity Bn sin nt. Function of t finally will be, what is common? 2 is common. 2. You see, since we are summing, you start from 1, 2, 3. Well, we don't have odd ones. So we start from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, up to infinity. So this end, you cannot have it outside because it will be increasing, it will be changing. Whatever will not be changing is what we usually have outside the bracket. Have to outside the bracket. I know I will not have sine t because all the terms are a 0. I'll start from 2. So it is 1 over n, in our case n is 2, sine 2t. 4 is negative. Negative 1 over n, in our case n is 4, sine 4t. Next one is positive, negative 1 over 6, sine 6t. Next one is negative. Next one is negative, minus 1 over 8, and sine 8t. Next one is positive, 1 over 10, sine 10t. It is a series, it will continue like that up to infinity. And that's why we said Fourier series expresses a certain function as an infinite series, an infinite trigonometric series, because we are using trigonometric functions. Sine and cosine are trigonometric functions. Then we can also see that it is increasing up to infinity. There is something I should have said earlier that I forgot. Should have said long time ago. This is called the fundamental harmonic. This is called the second harmonic, the third harmonic, the fourth harmonic, and so on. The more harmonic you have in your series, for example, if you are trying to represent a signal in Fourier series, the more harmonic you have in your series, the better is your representation of the signal. For example, I have a microphone here that is capturing my voice. It has a filter, and it will have a filter, and it changes the filter is for filtering the background noise. So the background noise, the sound of the object that are far away from where I'm filming, is the background noise. That background noise will be taken in as some extra harmonic, and those harmonic will cause distortion. So my microphone here is doing a very poor job in terms of filtering, because I know in this video you hear a lot of background noise. In my videos you hear a lot of some background noise. It's because I film in a big class and it's near a road, so there is quite some noise from the road and also the echo of the class. So the microphone should have a filter to remove unnecessary harmonics or unwanted harmonics apart from my voice. So my voice is the actual harmonic in the series. These harmonics, they represent my noise, my voice. Other extra harmonic, they represent the noise, and they should be filtered out by the microphone circuitry. So the more harmonics you have when you want to represent a signal in your series, the better is representation. But if you have some other harmonics that are coming to distort this signal, we call them noise, and they should be filtered away. So that is the end of this example. We have seen that this example, because you have used the actual method of integrating by parts, it has taken quite some time. For 6 marks. For 6 marks, in an exam, I would always check. It appears this problem involves a lot of integration, and I'll do it toward the end. Because in this paper, the example was question 3. It isn't a good idea to do this one as your third question. I would rather do it as my fourth or as my fifth. I start with simpler questions when I'm assured of something above 40% to make me pass, and then I start tackling the much tougher questions. I usually advise my students, because I teach electrical engineering, to start with the matrices or numerical method. You can start with numerical method, matrices, and then complex analysis. Then Fourier series is always repeated. For example, this is question 3 is Fourier series. And question what? Now in this case it's not repeated. So in this case you can do Fourier series as question 4 to avoid spending a lot of time in an exam trying to get 6 marks with a lot of integration. For example, in this paper, question 3 is Fourier series, which will take much more time. Question 4 is complex analysis, which will take shorter time. So it's very important to have a good experience in integration, because you can just, by looking at a question, you can say, oh, this question will take a lot of time because I'll need to integrate by part, maybe twice, 3 times, 2 times or 3 times, or even 4 times. For example, this question we had 2 portions that require to be integrated by part. We require to integrate integral of t sin n t with respect to t from 0 to pi over 2. This one required integration by part, and also integral from pi minus t sin n t with respect to t, pi over 2 to pi. This one also required to be integrated. 2 expression requiring to be integrated by parts for 6 marks, taking a lot of time. So you can do this one as your last question. If there is no time, use shortcut method. I think in an exam this question, I'll take it as my last and use the shortcut. This, whatever you have done is question A, question 3A. Question 3B is again 6 marks. Not 6 marks, but 14 marks to make 20, and it also will take quite some time. So some Fourier series questions are good, will not take time, but when you feel there is a lot of integration, it may take a lot of your time. Do Fourier series as your 4th question. That is in electrical engineering. Fourier series should always come number 4. For the other topic, will take even much more time than Fourier series. Triple integration probably may take much more time, and also vector field theory will also take much more time. So consider Fourier series as your question number 4. By the time you are doing question number 4, you should not be talking about 40% for passing. You should be talking about 60%, that is credit, by the time you are moving to question number 4. So in the next example, we'll do another example in half-reach that will be getting the cosine series of a certain question, of a certain function.